once again everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell from the title, this video is kind of like a story time type video, but like I have multiple stories, and as you can also tell from the title, it's about like stories of stuff that happened to me while working at Victoria's Secret. So yeah, if you guys want to hear those stories, just keep watching. Okay, so all of these stories happened to me on the same exact day, which was kind of overwhelming in the moment, but like they're kind of funny stories like now, like that it's not happening to me anymore. So basically the first story that happened, if you've ever worked retail or if you've worked at Victoria's Secret in specific, then you would know that we have to process returns in a super specific way. Like, it's like a lot of steps that just you don't have to do for a in like a regular return, just like with a regular receipt. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at I'm trying to look at the camera for you guys, so I hope it looks like I'm looking right. So anyway, so online returns are a little bit more difficult to do just because there's more steps and they're not as common. So these stories, all of these stories happened during the semi-annual sale, which happens about a week after Christmas. So anyway, the first story is this woman came up to my register, because I worked the cash register for the most part when I worked at Victoria's Secret, and she was in my line and she came up to me and she was like, "Hey, I have some returns," and they were ordered online for me by family members. They were Christmas presents, and she had, look, for online returns, if you know literally any information whatsoever about the person who purchased the gift, like I'm talking email, first last name, address, anything, we can find it in the system because like it's all online. So I was just kind of like, okay, well, like, I just need the information, like, and I can find your stuff. And this was like from two different people. So the first one, she knew the person's email address, so that was super quick. I looked it up and I got that return processed in like 5 minutes. Like, she had her cash in her hand within 5 minutes. So the next one was not so straightforward though. And she didn't have any of the information. She didn't know anything really. But then she decided to like text the person who had bought it for her. So I got all the information from the person, like she was texting back and forth, and I found their account online and I went through all of their recent orders. There were like 6 recent orders or something, and I think the computer keeps orders up to like a year or something, like on our end. I'm sure that like headquarters keeps it way longer, but like it was like 2 PJ sets and something else that she had. I think like a shirt, like a varsity crew. And like you can tell what is what in the order. Like it pretty much just says exactly what it is when you're looking through the order. So I was like looking through this whole thing, like every single order, and I could not find these PJ sets like at all. Like they just weren't in there. And I was like, maybe like the person ordered it under their husband's name or something else, because it was like relatives that lived like a couple of states away or something, from my understanding. So I was just like, well, I can't find it in here. So I asked my manager, because she just happened to be at the cash wrap at this time. I just like saw her and I was like, hey, how do I do this? Like, I can't find it in the computer. Like, I explained the situation to her, and she pretty much just told me just process it like without a receipt. So I was like, okay, cool, because like I've done them without receipts before, for like regular returns, you know, like with like stuff that you just bought at our store. And so I told the lady, I was like, look, you might not get like the full amount back for these products because you don't have the receipt. Like, we can't verify that it's anywhere in the system. And she was like, okay, that's fine, just like tell me what it is when we get done, because like it tells you on the end screen like when you're about to give the refund. So like I processed the whole return. I had to get her license for it because like I didn't have any other information, so I had to do her license in like this little machine that we have behind the counter. So I did all that stuff. I got to the very end, and it'll usually pop up a screen that's like, how do you want to give the refund? Do you want to give it like cash, like a debit card, like a gift card? How do you want to do it? So I was waiting for that screen to come up because like there is a loading delay kind of like when we do all this. So I was just sitting there, and it finally got done loading, and it just took me back to the main screen. Like, it didn't take me to like a refund screen or anything, so I kind of panicked. I thought that I did something wrong, and my manager was still like kind of hanging around. I think she was helping one of my coworkers like with a transaction or something. So like I just kind of got her attention. I was like, hey, you helped me with this a minute ago, like it's the same lady with this return with no receipt. Like, it didn't give me an option for a refund at all. And she was like, yeah, it's not going to, because we can't find it anywhere in our system to verify it. Like, personally, as a store, we can't give this refund because there's no evidence that this was like purchased from us. Like, there's just nothing we can do. And she was like explaining this to me and the customer simultaneously. So I was just like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I kind of get it. Like, she could have like stolen it, I guess, but I don't know. She obviously didn't, but there was nothing that we could do, right? Because like it's online, there's nothing our store could do. So she explained all this and like apologized to the customer, and she told her like, you're gonna have to call the 800 number, like you're just gonna have to settle it with corporate themselves. Like, there's nothing we can do. We processed it, so now we have to send the products back, because like with online returns, we have to have like these big mailers, and we have to put like the products in it if it's an online return and ship it back to Victoria's Secret like headquarters, I guess, like shipment headquarters or whatever. So we had to do that now because we processed it. And like there was a receipt for it, like a packing slip and everything that the computer printed out for the stuff. So we literally had to send it back. So I felt really bad for this lady. And then she didn't, like, my manager explained all of this to her. And instead of yelling and cussing at my manager, she turns to me and starts yelling and just cussing me out. She's just like, I'm never gonna shop here again. I was gonna spend so much money here today. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm never gonna shop here again. F-bombs, like, everything. And I was just like, obviously, it was not a fun experience for me as a, like, just a retail employee just doing my job. But, you know, she was obviously upset. Like, it was a Christmas present. Like, there was nothing we could do. So she just pretty much screamed at me and like cussed me out, and then she left. And so I was like pretty upset about it for like a good hour or two. But like, you just have so many customers like back to back to back that it's just like you just forget about stuff that happened because like you're so focused on the next customer, you know. So that was the first thing that happened that day, and that was pretty much towards the very beginning of my shift. I worked like an 8.5 hour shift that day. But anyways, so then I went on break a little while later, and when I came back from break is when this next story happens. So, this older man and his wife came up to my register, and they were buying a lot of stuff. And like I said, it was the semi-annual sale, so it was a lot of stuff that was on sale. So anyway, I like ring everything up. I start bagging things up for them, and I tell them the total as I'm doing all this, and the total was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna make up a dollar amount. I remember the cents, but I don't remember the dollar amount. Anyways, I'll just say it was like $70. It was $70.46, okay? Stay with me. Remember that amount. So I tell the man, because he's the one paying. The wife is like just wandering over and looking at stuff, which, so I'm like, your total is gonna be $70.46. He hands me $70, and he's like digging through his wallet. So I'm like, okay, he's gonna give me exact change. I'll just like wait. So I'm just like standing there, and he gives me 32 cents. $70.32. And I'm like, sir, like, I need the, like, you still owe me, like, money, like 14 cents. And, he was like, no, I gave you 46 cents. And I'm like, no, you gave me 32. Like, you gave me a quarter, a nickel, and 2 pennies. Like, I have it in my hand. Like, look, it's not 46 cents. And, so we're, like, arguing, and he's like, that's 46 cents. It's not that hard to count. And I'm like, yeah, it's not that hard to count. So why can't you do it? Like, I didn't say that, but, like, obviously thinking it. So he then gives me a dime, which brings the total to $70.42. And I was like, sir, you still owe me 4 cents. And he was like arguing with me, and he was like, no, I don't, blah, 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 blah. And I just like turned to my coworker, and I'm like, can I just like fix this later? Like, I'm pretty sure that I have like 4 cents. And she was like, yeah, just like don't cause like a big argument. Like, it was already an argument, but like, whatever. So I was like, okay, sure, sorry about that, even though I was like, you know, if you work retail, you know, you just had to like apologize for like breathing. So pretty much I just like did it, and later I just like put 4 cents in the drawer, like it's not a big deal. So I was just like confused, like, why on this earth would you get so drove over change? Like, he was like yelling at me, and I'm like, why are you so upset? Like, what's going on? Like, what's good? Like, why? I don't get it. If I'm ever like a crazy old person like that, like, somebody slap me, like, just throat punch me, whatever you have to do. Like, I do not think I would ever get that angry over small change. But I don't know. Maybe he was just mad that I was calling him a liar, but I wasn't. I just, like, sometimes you miscount your change. I thought he just miscounted, but no. He was actually thought that was the right change, but whatever. It's not a big deal. So this last story that happened that day is probably the one that gets me the most heated, because it just makes me mad. Basically what happened was, at the end of the shift, I had stayed like 30 or 35 minutes later than my shift actually was, and it was just because we were so super busy. And so I finally got a chance to ask over the headset, like, to ask a manager, like, hey, can I like leave now? My line is down, like, we're not really busy up here anymore. And so my manager was like, yeah, sure, you can go, like, have a good weekend or whatever, rest of the weekend, because it was a Saturday. And so as I was leaving, I told my coworkers, I was like, hey, I'm about to go, like, somebody will probably be in here soon, because like the manager had said that somebody was going to be coming off break soon anyway. So I was like, so you guys should be pretty good, like, even if it does get busy up here. And this girl who's at the cash register right next to me, I've never worked with her in my life, by the way, never. And like, I worked this week that this happened, okay, this happened on a Saturday. That entire week I worked Monday through Saturday every single day. The only day that I had off was Thursday, and most of those days were 10-hour days, or longer than 10 hours that I worked, okay? Keep this in mind. Never seen this girl before in my life. So she turns to me and she's like, hey, before you go, can you like take these hangers to the back for me? Because nobody's come through here today. And I was like, yeah, sure, that's no problem, because like we just have like baskets underneath the cash wrap, like where you just like toss the hangers in as you're like taking the hangers off stuff for people. Like you just toss them in there, and usually somebody will come around and just like pull the hangers and like take them to the back, because like we obviously reuse them. So I had no problem with that. I just kind of like dumped all the baskets, like I just like gathered them all up and put them in one basket because like they're rolling carts, and I just like pulled it to the back or whatever. And I was pretty sure that I had gotten all of these hangers, okay? Like I was 90% sure. So I took them out of the back. I sorted through them like clip hangers and then just regular ones and pink ones and pink clip hangers. Like they have to be sorted because it just makes it faster for shipment. But anyway, so I took them to the back, sorted them. It took like 5 minutes. It wasn't a big deal. So once I was done with that, I brought the basket back and I was just like, okay, I'm leaving. And I went and I clocked out. I got all my stuff. Like I got my wallet, my keys. Like I was leaving. Okay, so I had to like, you have to walk past the cash wrap like to leave because like for some reason we can't use the back door. I don't really get it. Whatever. So I'm like walking past there, and this girl, like the one that had asked me to take the hangers, she was like, Hannah, are you leaving? And I was like, yeah, I told you that I'm leaving. Like I took on the hangers. And she was like, you missed one. Like there's still one basket over here. And I was like, look, I'm sorry. Like I've been here already for almost like 40 minutes longer than I was supposed to. Like I'm tired. I've been here for like 8.5 hours. Like I'm just ready to go. Like I'm sorry. I just must have overlooked it. My bad. And she was like, whatever, just go. And I'm like, don't give me an attitude. You're not my manager. You're not my supervisor. You're on the same level as me. We're co-workers. I've never even worked with you before, actually. So, like, it's not that serious. It's not. I'm sorry. And so I was just like, okay, well, have a good day. And so, like, I walked past, and there's this old woman, okay? There's this old woman in line to check out because, like, I was walking through the cash wrap, you know? And she, like, looks at me and she's like, you're not gonna stay and help her? I'm sorry, what? Lady, I don't know you. You don't know my life. You don't know how long I've been here. I've been here 8.5 hours that day. Like, chill out. And then she starts like cussing at me and mumbling under her breath about kids these days. They're so lazy. They don't want to work. Yeah, totally, dude. Totally. You're so right. Kids these days are so freaking lazy, man. Like, you're so right. I'm so lazy. You know, working like over 10-hour days that entire week, getting up at like 5 a.m. to go into work for shipment pretty much every day that week. Yeah, man, super duper lazy. Being at work from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m., super lazy. Like, absolutely. You're so right. Like, get out of here. Like, get out of here with that. Like, who do you think you are? You don't know my life. Like, do not try to come for me like that. No. It's not happening. Nah. Sorry. Nah. Sorry about it. Thank you guys so much for joining me again today. Leave me a like if you like this video, comment down below, and subscribe because I make new videos every Monday and Friday. Thank you guys once again so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time.